It's a point for FC Telford United this afternoon in a 0-0 draw with Kettering Town here at Latimer Park. And our manager Gavin Cowan with me. Gavin, it is only a point, but I sense it's a very satisfying point for you today.
Yeah, I wouldn't say only a point. I think it's a really well-earned point. You know, I'm really proud of the players today, their attitude, their application, the way they went about the game. You know, they got, you know, no less than they deserved. Really, could have even been at the end there. Obviously, we nearly nicked the win, so I don't think anyone would have argued. I think the lads really applied themselves brilliantly today.
I know last week after the defeat at Farsley, I think you were concerned that the warnings that you'd given to the team about what they were going to face, they hadn't necessarily heeded that, but they did today, didn't they? They took all that on board.
Yeah, it was like last week was a bit of a run up to this game, wasn't it? And I would prefer it if we didn't need that. I suppose just need to trust what's being said. But it was all about setting a precedent, you know, and I don't know if you recall the game last week, but, you know, straight from kick-off, our header was poor, and then the ball into midfield, the header into midfield was poor, and then we end up committing a foul within the first 10 seconds. You know, they're in your final third taking a free kick. So, you know, like I've said just there on the radio, you know, football it's an accumulation of battles, technically, tactically, you know, ability-wise, and then also psychologically as well. And you have to set a precedent, you know. And we didn't do that last week. But you know, I felt today we started really well. I think we stuck the ball in good areas. You know, we played a formation that we felt would help us in that with that. And yeah, I think the lads carried it out brilliantly. Credit to them.
Yeah, you say about that, you know, like setting a precedent and it almost, you know, setting your stamp on it early on, and there was seemed a determination not to get pushed around.
Yeah, well, you know, I wouldn't imagine no team that I've got would ever be, you know, classed as someone who would get pushed around. I wouldn't like to think, but you know, some of the lads I've got in there, yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be a time they get pushed around. But I suppose when you're a bit of a footballing team, you do get branded with that. I think, you know, Kettering had made it quite clear that they wanted to get the game on today. I mean, you know, I'm not sure what sport you can call it, but you know, today didn't really seem like the traditional football that we're used to. But you know, I mean, credit to Kettering, because listen, they've set their stall out to win points and get points, and they think that's their way about going about getting it, and credit to them. And you know, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, because you have to play to what you're good at. You know, if that's not doing certain things and doing others, then you have to concentrate on that. You know, and but they can do both. I watched them in the game against York midweek, and I thought, you know, they were a better team after 5 minutes, which is easy to do, I suppose, when you go 2-0 down. But ultimately, you know, they are a capable team, but they play to those strengths. You know, they've obviously got Big Pezza up front, who they've brought in, and they just try and get the ball to him as quick as possible and play off him. So we've had to combat that, and I think we've done it brilliantly. You know, I'm really proud of the players, and you know, on what are horrendous conditions. I'm not sure, you know, if it should have been on or not, but you know, what's absolutely horrendous conditions. The lads have really pulled through and shown that we can mix it, not just if you want to have a football match, but if you also want to, you know, set a precedent and earn the right as well. So credit to them.
And was that part of the thinking about bringing Courtney Walters back? I know you said he was close last week, and you know, you might have looked at the pitch today and thought, is that going to be a bit concerned? But he's got that experience, hasn't he, for taking on a character like Carl Perry?
He comes in, and it's, you know, it's no disrespect to Zach. You know, Zach's been doing great. He's played a lot of football. You know, he's been out of the team, and obviously there's been a big break with lockdown and whatnot. So he's played a lot of football, and I just felt today was a good day for Courtney, and he proved it really. You know, he stuck the ball in great areas, really showed his quality, and really big for us at set pieces as well. So credit to him.
Is it a little bit of a frustration on a game like today that you don't get to play a bit more expansively, or is it about just sort of like making sure that you stop the opposition?
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't about. I don't think we weren't expansive. I think actually first half we were the expansive team. You know, we were playing, I suppose, like a 4-2-4 in the end, and really pinning them back. And I think we played a lot more in their half than they did ours. But like you say, the momentum swung second half, and we stood up to a real barrage of you know, long balls and long throw-ins and scrapping and battling, and you know, the lads real showed character out there, and I'm really proud of them.
So it's now a case of no league games until Boxing Day. Now you've got 2 FA Trophy games coming up, so you've got Coleshill on Tuesday night with the potential of another tie after that, but you won't be looking any further than Tuesday night initially.
Oh, absolutely not. No, it's a cup competition, and league status goes out the window. You know, we've got to, like I say, you've got to set a precedent. We've got to go and earn the right and show Coleshill why we're a couple of divisions above them, and they'll want to show that, you know, their players will want to show that they can play at our level. So listen, cup competitions always bring, you know, interesting ties, and this is another one. So we've got to be at our best. If we are at our best, then, you know, I've no doubt what the result will be. But ultimately we've got to stand up to what will be a really enthusiastic, I imagine, with them being on a bit of a break, really enthusiastic team who will want to get on the ball and play, and we'll have to combat that.
You've got a couple of injury concerns out of today as well, but you will have Don McHale available again for Tuesday. So
surely not injuries with us.
But they're just those things that just more challenges to overcome.
It's a real challenge, me and the chairman were speaking last night, and listen, you can imagine financially with the way the current affairs are at the moment, it's a real challenge, and there's a lot of people doing some brilliant work behind the scene, but on the football pitch as well, we've decided to go with a small squad, and injuries just keep coming up. We are up against it, and that's the way it is at the moment, but we've got to keep our heads above water, and I think we're doing more than that. I think we're overachieving for if everything was on the table. But I think we're going in the right direction. I think we can improve even more. I think days like today aren't ever going to be a reflection of how we are as a football team. They're going to be a reflection of our character, and I think with us nearly winning it at the end there, I think we come away with certainly earned a bit of respect.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for your time, Gavin. Cheers. Thank you.